Hi there, Retro Tech Ralph here. I've got a BBC. Right, I've got the two BBC Masters. Did the upgrades, did the whatever else, CMOS stuff, and found out what was the problem with the this is not a language situation, which basically was down to the CMOS battery was taken off, all the settings inside the memory are gone, and it doesn't know what it's doing. But there's a sheet that you can go through. There's a website called lionelsorpheusweb.co.uk, and he's got tons of stuff on there. There's one on there, it's comp nyb/techstuff/8bit/master128/128bat-config. Now you go on that and it tells you the full program list of what to do. I might actually stick a link in the description for that, but it does show you right at the top, because I did the battery mod on the BBCs, and I'll show you on there. This is the better one of the two. New batteries there, they need 4.5 volts to power the CMOS. Plugs into that PLB socket there. Now the problem with this one is when I took this cable off, it was actually showing I'd not pushed that one against the contact, so it wasn't saving to this particular one, the better of the two. So that I've got 4.5 volts coming out of here, no problem. That will power the CMOS up. However, I never realised, and this is stupid, that once this is plugged in, it doesn't need the 4.5 volts because it's using the mains. It's using what's coming out of the rest of it, or the 5 volts and stuff like that, to keep everything in the memory. And then it recharges the batteries up, because the old battery used to go in here, and there was problems with that, and they were took out and then replaced with the Duracell ones. I can't see a problem with having Energizer ones. They're all alkaline batteries, they're exactly the same. What they recommend is alkaline batteries, and Energizer ones are pretty good. So I don't see the point in using what people say use Duracell alkaline AA batteries only. Duracell, it's just a name, and these are pretty good. I like these better than I do Duracell anyway. But when this is plugged in, it recharges these. And the problem with that is these don't want to recharge because they're alkaline batteries, and they will eventually blow up. So the mod on this is as follows. Let me get that out of the way. I have to do this on both of them. Zoom you in. Get over here. Obviously that goes to the computer, comes out your red and your black, positive, negative. That goes to my battery pack with a 4.5 volts. You can do, there is a mod which you can do with a resistor and a diode. You can put that inside an entry battery case, and you can make that your 4th battery in a 4 battery case bit section. However, I've only got a 3, so I'll do it this way. What it will be, power will come out. My diode, which is a class, it's a diode IN4005 diode. Must go the right way around. We'll connect to the red. That way around, with the silver marking on that way. This is as dumb as I can get it for you, because I am dumb. And then the resistor, which is a 120 ohm resistor, that way around, so that will solder onto there. And then the red cable will solder onto there. This will stop any power going back down into the battery pack. Simple as that. It's a simple circuit. Battery, diode, resistor will stop the flow going inwards. So as simple as that, and that's what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do on both of these. I'll solder up. It's a simple enough circuit. It just resist power going the opposite direction. And I should have done this before I switched these on. Afterwards, cable shrink stuff anyway, so this will be completely covered in. We'll make this as short as possible. He does actually recommend a little bit of cable out from the batteries, not putting this directly onto the back of a battery. So just keeps a little bit of, in case this gets hot, it won't heat the battery up, but there's plenty of distance between anyway. I'll just probably solder it about kind of there-ish. Let's get it tighter in, can we? So there's not too much distance between, but I'm not making this massively long anyway. They'll only be short. It'll be about that long, sort of 2-inch long when it's done, and then completely covered over in heat shrink wrap cable, whatever gubbins. So, right, let's get on with this, shall we? I'm stalling now. Right, so yeah, give me 5 minutes and let's get on with this and see if I can cut this up. I might record the second one, to be honest, but if I can just get on with doing the first and I know what I'm doing, then we should be fine. So give us 2 seconds and this one will be done. Okay, been using one of my Christmas presents, my really bloody stupidly large helpful hands. I'm going to try and mount that somewhere on the desk so I can actually use it more regular. But if you look on here, right, let's pull that apart. If you can see that when I get tight in, I think I can get it focused. Right, there's your diode coming from the red cable. That goes one way around, the resistors below it, and straight onto the red cable afterwards, and then goes off onto the socket at the end. So that is the circuit done on that side, which looks fine. It's good enough for me, and I've cut the black cable a little bit longer so I can actually, it doesn't look so bleeding stupid. So they're actually about the same length, these anyway. So I need a little bit of black cable tie for that one. Okay, well, yeah, you shrink wrap for the black, so that will go on there. Right, so I need to just solder these two together. Get this one up here. Should we get that through the black cable? Quite useful, this. That first one doesn't seem too good for doing this with. Once it's in and it's shrink wrapped and everything's done, I'll be happy, but at the minute it just seems a little bit fragile, shall we say. Put a little bit more of that through. A bit of tinning on the end, help out. And I'm not the world's best solderer. Bear with me. I did put the heat shrink on this, didn't I? Yeah, that's okay. Let's not redo that one again because it just seems a little bit too. Actually, it's not. It's further in. It's in the cable. It's the cable that's actually wobbling on that one. So, what I'm gonna do? Pull these over the way over. Shrink wrap with a bit of heat. Use a lighter or whatever you've got. Try and get it in the middle if I can. Heat away. And that should be perfectly done. Okay, first one completed. You can see on there, on the negative at least, there's actually adhesive inside this. It makes a good seal once it's all done, so it protects it for as long as it possibly can, to be honest. So that'll go into one of the computers. Now, the problem with this now is this will go into the second one because the second one had power on. So I need to actually power on the second computer while I take the old one off, and this will go on the second one. The simple reason, I've still got the settings in the second one, so I want to keep the settings in the second one. So power up the second computer, unplug the other one, plug this in, and then I can turn that one off. So I need to do a little bit of swapping with the power on. So let me get the other one plugged in, the BBC, and we'll get on with putting this in. Okay, BBC's plugged in, power switch is on, and now I know if I plug this in, it will say on the screen in front of me that everything's fine, whoop-de-doo, and everything's happy. So what I need to do is put this in there now, while I know that the computer's plugged in. Now I need to be bloody careful of that because last time I touched one of them I electrocuted myself. So that off of there, that off of there. So this will go into the second computer. This will now go into here. And there's extra cable there, but that doesn't really matter. I have a little bit more than not enough. Right. That is on and that is in. Actually, those pins are a little bit bent, but that's fine. Right. I think I will actually test this computer. Make sure it is working fine. So I need to find the adapter, which I've lost somewhere. I think it's probably on the end of the cable underneath here. Yeah, there she is. Plug her in. Make sure this works. So, in light of needing video capture equipment, just trust me. I'm not fully bothered about video capture. You can trust me that it works or it doesn't work anyway. Now that is actually showing me Acorn MOS Acorn 1770DFS basic, so I can tap and everything works perfectly fine. Mistake. Yeah, no. So I'm powering off now. Plug off and plug out. Now that should be working to keep all the settings in the CMOS. So that should be enough time. Plug in, switch on, power on. That was a long one. Chris shouts at me every time I do this. That's actually showing done. So that's all fine and I'm happy that that is actually working. Now, time for the second one. Right, job done. I'm quite happy with that. Quite solid. I never used to use heat shrink wrap stuff before. I was just to put electrical tape around everything, and that's my biggest problem with it all. And it looked a little bit of a mess, but not to worry. Right, the computer is on at the moment. It is showing this is not a language. I knew this was the case on this because that battery there wasn't fully pushed up against there. The rest of them are now, yes, and there is 4.5 volts running through that. Might just be a case of it's a crap battery compartment, battery holder, but it is showing on the screen as this is not a language. So once this is in, I have to still faff, which is a shame. I'm still going to put the programming back in. So what I might do is actually go through that with you, just to show you exactly what it is. So that goes back onto there. The red cable goes in the middle, black at the top, others not. Right, So the screen actually shows, still this is not a language, but I need to do the full programming. There's a full list of what exactly it is to do anyway, and I will put that in a link in the description below. So I need to work on this because apparently my I was about to say my V button doesn't work, but now it's kind of, it is working. Alright. Okay. The V is showing. I mean, it might be a case of there's a bit of crap underneath it, and I did put some WD on there, and it does actually seem to have worked. That's a shift lock, that is. Should I go through the whole lot with you? Yeah. Let me set it up, and we'll get on with doing what we need to do to program this from basic. And I can do it fully because there was a problem with the V anyway, which I couldn't do before. So give me a second, let me get set up. Let me put this screen over BBC and the screen over there will have what I need to type in. I can go through it with you. Just before I start, this is the diagram of what you need to use. Obviously battery from the positive, diode, resistor into. That's exactly what I followed. And down here is, see, that's what they've used as the fourth battery compartment. You can actually use that as the resistors inside it, which is fine, which is good to use. But here is all the stuff that you need to stick in, the command ones, which you need to be prompted for, which are what I'm going to go through now with you, is what needs to be done. So I'll keep that on the screen. Sorry, Chris, but I've got no capture, so bear with me when you're watching this. So in a second, let me just get this over to the screen and then you can see the BBC. Right then, here we go. What they recommend to start with is doing a full factory reset on your computer. So what you do is turn the thing off, make sure it's fully powered off. I've actually took the CMOS battery off here because I've just done something and it is actually showing me everything's working. Right, you turn your factory reset by pressing R and turning on, and it comes up with, when the AV2 goes, CMOS RAM reset, press brake to continue. So you press brake and it comes up with Icon MOS, Icon ADFS. Right, from here hold down Control, CTRL and D and press brake. This is not a language comes up, and then start and the file cursor's flashing away. Right, if you don't get this, then there's a problem with the batteries or something like that. Right, so at the prompt, enter ROMs, and that comes out with, and there's a lot of flashing on the screen. It's a wrong resolution, and to be honest, it's wrong. Yeah, when the resolution's changed, it'll be a lot better than this. It's a crap modulator anyway, but when it's on a lower resolution, it'll be a lot better than this. I'll get something sorted out in time. At the moment, I'm just coping with what it is. It should show you Terminal 1, View 4, IDFS 50, 4 Basic, Edit 1, View 2, and DFS as 479. Right, so what I need to do now, start on, enter ST dot, and that shows me on my boot sequence at present. So obviously everything's as far down as you can see, so I'll show you the bottom corner. Actually, can I get this screen over a little bit? Let's get this over. That's not the best. Right, so you asked me to put in commands. CO dot board 4. Okay, now CO dot no boot, CO dot space. It is imperative you put the space in. Okay, CO dot space. Caps, this is what they recommend. CO dot space. Right, data 4. CO, excuse me, dot space, delay 50. CO dot space, no tube. CO dot space. I know they're probably a little bit easier than this. No dir. F drive value 0. File 9. Floppy. CO dot ignore 10. Value for that, CO dot lang 12. CO dot mode 135 they recommend. Dot loud. CO dot print 1. CO dot repeat 5. CO dot scroll. CO dot TV, and I couldn't do this before because the V didn't work. 0,1. Done. Now do control and break. There we go. I'm in basic. Everything's done. There are more configurations that you do. You've got the different drive in different places. You want a different mode for the resolution. So let's try this one. Let's do CO dot. Is it mode? Yeah, mode 2. That's just variable. Okay. It is mode. Mode 1. Oh, I'm not in the thingy mode, am I? I'm in basic mode, so it needs to go into the opposite mode from the basic to the programming side. So I'm back into normal. So I can do my usual, the old. Print. Oh, where are exclamation marks? 2. Hello. I work. 20. Go to 10. Run. That is as far as I ever got with basic. Escape's come out of it. Escape at line 20. But that's your loading. That's your logo. That's your programming. I'll go into a lot more than that one day, I suppose. For the minute, that's done. So yeah, back to the BBC. So I'm happy with this. This should turn off fully and then back on again in basic mode. Yeah, Acorn 1770 DFS basic. Job done. Now, I'm happy, and this all works perfectly. And this is going back together, and this is done. All I have to do with this now is there's the games ROM, isn't there? Oh, blimey. Right, that's going to be another day. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I've got the key star pressed down with the keyboard on here. Like this. Job done. Both BBCs now working perfect. See you later. Catch you next video. Bye bye.